Friends and family of Harvard football, thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm Connor Hempel. I was the quarterback of the 2014 undefeated 10-0 Ivy League championship team here at Harvard. It was an incredible experience, awesome year, one of the best years of my life. And I was able to share that experience with one of my teammates and good friends, Andrew Fisher, who I'll pass the mic over to.
Thank you, Connor, and thank you, everybody who's joining us today. Andrew Fisher, class of 2016. I played receiver, wore number 1, had the privilege of playing with Connor for 4 incredible years, and we're here to take a trip back to the 131st showdown between Harvard and Yale. Both teams are undefeated. Ivy League title is on the line. ESPN Game Day is there. They brought in extra seats to facilitate the sold-out stadium. A lot on the line. As Connor mentioned, we did come out on top. And why don't we take a trip down memory lane?
From the 35, we're now inside a minute. Hempel going for it all, going for Fisher. Touchdown.
Wow. So Connor, I mentioned a little bit, and if you look at the screen, you can see, it's fourth quarter, 1 minute left, 24-24 tie ball game. There was a lot that happened before this. Do you mind walking us through how we got here?
Yeah, it was a pretty slow game to start out. I remember it being very cold. The wind was pretty windy in the stadium. It was coming right over top of the bowl right there, as you remember. And, it was just a slow start. The atmosphere was incredible, but both offenses were just not clicking in the beginning, probably because both defenses was doing very well. A little bit of a mix of both, but ultimately not a very high-scoring game going into halftime. And then we come out of halftime and points start going up on the board. Our offense starts clicking. We connected on a couple deep balls that helped it out a little bit. Everyone just started playing much better on our side of the football. And we got out to a pretty good lead, and we were feeling good about ourselves, late in the third quarter, even beginning of the fourth. And then Yale started coming back. Connor Sheehan did a great job, put 6 points on the board with one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen on our side of the ball. So that helped us out a little bit, gave us some leeway. But ultimately, Yale drives down the field and scores a field goal to tie up the game 24-24 and kicks us the ball with 2 minutes left in the game. And that's kind of where we get to where we are now. We're about 5 plays into a 2-minute drive, fourth quarter, 24-24. Both teams with not only the Ivy League championship on the line, but also an undefeated season on the line. And that brings us to where we are now. And I remember specifically, Paul Stanton was gassed after about 5 or 6 plays in a row. He had a couple incredible plays, but he needed a breather. So Andrew Caston came in to replace him. And typically we get the play call from one of the backup quarterbacks who's signaling into us. But because Andrew was coming in, he actually ran the play in without signals. And when he verbalized it to me, I'll never, ever forget when he gave me the play, twins right, Leo to milk, which is a double move for fish on the outside. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew it was going to be game over. I remember making eye contact with you when I called the play and literally verbalizing game over. And we got up to the line. It was the perfect coverage. We had the play set up the whole game. Coach Lamb did a great job, not only setting up the play all game, but then also delivering the play call in a very stressful 2-minute drive and giving us the confidence, putting confidence in us, not only calling the play, but also knowing that we're going to deliver like we did. And that brings us to where we are here. I'll pass the mic to you.
Definitely. I mean, you can see me up at the top of the screen here. And to your point, I remember we made eye contact and not a word was said. We just knew. But you can see the defense here. Initially, the corner was outside shade. But you can see if we run it here, that the DB starts coming towards the line and then moves inside shade as soon as the ball is snapped. We pause it right here. And essentially what we were seeing was man coverage. And I actually wrote in my notes in the film and game plan leading up to the game, that the defensive backs tend to get a little lazy at times when we may have the opportunity to beat them with a double move. And I remember writing that down in my notes and coming up to the line and seeing that they were in man coverage. And as soon as he turned his shoulders towards you and, his eyes were on you, I knew that I would be able to get that outside shoulder and get in the position. And you delivered, obviously, an incredible ball. And we can keep rolling it here just to see sort of how that comes about. Beautiful placement, great protection by the offensive line. I'm pointing up to the student section here, who was just phenomenal. They were an incredible 12th man the entire game. We actually had trouble getting the play call in at one point just because of how loud it was. But just a great moment.
Yep. It truly was one of the, I say it all the time, it was by far the best athletic play that I've ever been a part of. Just the atmosphere and the setting with the game being tied and being in the fourth quarter, just something obviously we will never ever forget. And this next clip really shows, not only just how good of a protection this whole entire offensive line is still in the NFL today. It's one of the best lines that Harvard's ever had. So it was truly an incredible protection. This is one of my favorite shots where you get to see the student section kind of go crazy right there. That was, that still gives me chills to this day. And I've probably seen it 25,000 times at this point. But just a really, really unbelievable experience in a great atmosphere.
Yeah, and as you can see here, everybody's hugging, everybody's feeling good. It was especially impactful for me because this was the first and actually only game that I had my entire family present. So it was an incredible feeling to be able to go out and perform and to show out like I did in front of them. Connor, thank you again for coming here and breaking down that play and sort of sharing your experience. I can speak for myself, but I'm sure both of us in saying it, how memorable it was and how impactful not only the experience was from a football perspective, but being a part of the Harvard family. So thank you all that have been a part of that and will continue to be for the rest of our lives. Yeah,
like you said, Fish, it feels like a family. It is a family. All of my good friends are still my teammates, including yourself. It's a deep connection that's unlike any other that I've ever experienced. So thank you, everybody who allows that to keep happening and carry through the years. And we hope to see you all in the stadium in the very near future.